Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to 7th chapter of this course, Guide to Joomla. In this lesson you will learn about the site management, which includes user management, plugins and media. Now I will break this chapter into 3 sub lessons. So first thing is about user management. So if you are building a site which has restricted contents so that a registered user can access it, or you are making sites like e-commerce, social media or social network or community sites, then you will need to know about Joomla user management. Perhaps no one CMS has such powerful user management system as Joomla has. Joomla is super powerful and allows you to finally control user permission, but it can be hard to wrap your head around all the different terms and options at first. So here is a quick primer. A user is an individual login. Each person should have each person should have their own user. The login should not be shared among multiple people for security purposes. A user group is a group of users. User groups determine what a user can do. A user can belong to multiple user groups. Joomla comes set up with predefined user groups for convenience. So after I log in to administrator, from the left side menu we will navigate to the users, then click on manage, and these are all the users that you will see in admin. And next we will go to the groups. As you can see, user groups are nested within each other and they build upon each other. So for example, register has basic permissions, author has all those permissions plus few more, editor has all same permission as author plus more, and so on. Super users can do everything on site. Their permissions cannot be limited. It's best to have as few super users as possible at any given time. To make sure you deactivate all super use, it's best to have as few super user as possibly at any given time, and to make sure you deactivate old super user accounts regularly. Finally, the access levels determines what user can see based on their user group. Like user groups, Joomla comes with a few access level pre-configured for convenience. User groups can be assigned to more than one access level. Before loading any page in the front end or back end, Joomla checks whether the user is logged in and what user groups they belong to, and whether they have view access level that enables them to view the page. Well, you could start with one of the predefined user groups if you want, and you can create your own custom access level with the predefined name, whatever you need. So first of all, let's create some user group. I'm going to groups again. On the top button there is a new button. I will press on it and I will give some title. Let's say I am giving title client. Make sure parent group is public so that we are starting from a blank slate with permissions. Then click save and close. Now let's create a access level in step 2. Go to the access level, then click on new button. You can use the same name as like of group name, it is no issue. Then in the next tab, under the user group with viewing access level, we will select the newly created group. Then we will save and close. This means that only clients will be able to see anything set to client a view access level. No one else, not even super users, will see it. In most cases, this is a good thing, because you can create specialized module for your clients without cluttering up your own interface. However, there are some cases when you might want to show things both to client and to super user. So let's take care of that in next. Now adding the client user group to the special view access level, we will go to this special. Special is a access level which is mostly used from backend. Then save and close. Now anything with special view access level will be seen by both clients and super user, along with the managers and authors by default. Next, giving appropriate permission to the new user group. We have a user group and a view access level, but we have not used them yet. If we created a user now and assign it to client, they would not even be able to log in. So let's take care of that in next level. We will go to the home dashboard, then to the global configuration. Here we will go to the permission, and our newly created client is there. When I click on it, under the action there is a action name site login, which currently has the value of not allowed. I will select and set its value to allowed, and we can also set the administrator login to allowed, and we can set other action like access admin interface if we allow them to access the front end and as well as the back end of the website. Now after setting the permission, we will save and close. Now let's update the component permission as necessary. This is where it really depends on your site and use case. So I will not take you through each component here. Just like global permission, you need to click on the component name and click the permission tabs, then update them as necessary, so your client has the access they need without overwhelming them. And as an example, here are the permission I have set up for articles. By going to content, then articles, and their options. This is the permission, selecting the client and access the administrator interface, allow them to create and allow them to edit state, and edit custom field, and execute transition to allowed. Save and close. I recommended checking every install component one by one before moving forward. Remember that if you don't want the client to be able to access the component at all, you need to change the permission for access administrator interface to denied, because it is just for the admin area of website. Now next step is to add a test client user. At this point I like to add a user to the client group so I can check and make sure everything is working as expected. So step 1 is click on the user, then click on the manage, then press the new button. Fill out the fake account details. Now in the second tab, select the user group to the client, uncheck the registered. Now save and close. This user is saved. I am opening this. Opening this into new private window so I can log in again. Okay, press the login button. Okay, well, you see I have successfully created a user group that is able to access the admin, and it will able to access the front end also. And while I will go to the article, I can see the article interface, and if I try to go some other groups, I can also access those. This is how user works. Now what if I want to allow the user to register from front end? So let's go to the menu, and I am working with the same client user. Go to the main menu, then I have already created a menu named the user registration. By default user register in the front end is disabled. We have to enable it by going to the manage user, then under the you see the option is not accessible by this group of this user, because it has not full privileges as like the super user has. I am closing it and going to super user interface. Under the user there is an option button, and under the user option tab it will by default this option is disabled. I will allow user registration to yes, and for now I am not changing the other fields. Just save and close. Now I will go to the menu. Under the main menu I have created this menu, user registration. You can go to new, and I can give some title. Be sure alias should be unique for every menu. It can be auto generated from title. Now select the menu item type, and under the user there is a registration form. Select it and save and close it. Now view the front end of the website by clicking the top right link. You see this button is there, which is the register, and when I click on it, it will show the registration button. It is giving some message because there is a reCAPTCHA plugin enabled but its keys are not given. We have to take those keys from the Google developer. Now user can register by filling this form on the front end. And what type of user will be registered? When we see under the option in the user where we allowed the user registration, it asks new user registration group. You can set to whatever register group you want. I am setting as a client and save and close. Now this form will register a user as a client user group. These are the extra fields that I created by going to the user fields and user field groups. You can create the groups to separate the each section of the field. I created two groups. One is the extra group. It is very easy. You can create by clicking the new button, giving some title and some description, and save and close. After that you will create some fields. Field can be extra information that you want to collect from user. So you can click on new button and give some title that should be unique. And you can select the type. There are many fields available. I may select the text editor, and we need to give some label, some description if needed, and if it is required or not, some default value, and later select the field group here, user information, and save and close. Okay, this is published. Now I will go to a front end. We will see this field we just created. The user information address is right here. Okay. By default this field is disabled. You have to give some permission under the fields and this address under the permission tab for the public, because the visitor is a public. Allow edit custom field value to allow. Don't forget to do it. Save and close. Let me refresh it. I have to refill again. Now it is we are able to write into it. Okay, here we go. User has been registered successfully, and because I am on localhost, it have to send email to register user. Therefore it gave a error that it cannot send a registration email, but no problem. We will go to admin under the user and manage. This client 2 is here with the status of deactivated. Admin can select it and just activate it by clicking on the enable and activate button. It is now activated. From front end under the login button, and we will use this new user client 2 and their password. Press the login button. Now this has logged in to the front end, but it is saying you don't have permission to access this because and contact the website administrator. Under the component article, we will go to the option permission, and for the client we will allow those permissions to allow, and Let me allow all the permissions. Save it and refresh the front end. Now everything is gone, every error is gone. And so this is the access level, how easy it is, and it is the best access level ACL system that I see is available in the Joomla. So that was the sub lesson of the 7th chapter, site management. And I will see let's meet in next video, in which I will tell you about the plugins and the media of website.